You lived in Memphis for a long time, though, huh? You know, my cousin went to Lynn in Jackson.
Yeah, my baby mama went to Lynn.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Under the Influence. I'm just one of my jam. I'm Lynn.
And I ain't Brad the Barber, y'all know me.
Ken Fennell.
Ken Fennell. All right. So, how was y'all weekend?
No complaining allowed.
No complaining out loud?
Allowed.
All right. Oh, no complaining allowed. Yeah.
I had a good weekend. I went to San Antonio this weekend.
Okay.
Yes, I had a good time, baby. Ate real good. Ate real good. What'd you do?
Oh, as usual, I just chilled.
The baby?
Yep, the babies. I think that's what I did.
Think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I go somewhere? Did I do something? Did I go to a birthday party? I don't remember.
That's the wrong person.
I'm just saying. Did I go?
It's a lot to do. A lot to do.
Well, we can get straight into it. What about that Starbucks? The Starbucks situation.
Man, them, like Ply said, man, them dudes, they tickets all that's gonna be in their Facebook. They kept their cool.
They kept their
Kept their cool. You know, so I'm anxious to see kind of lawsuits. But it seems to be like when I read the comments, I saw a lot of actually was like a lot of white folks
that was on their side.
Yeah, and I was like,
there was white people who were interviewed, who was putting the camera on.
Who's recording it?
Huh? That was recording.
And they must have been waiting for that old white man. That was like, well, what did they do?
You know what? They actually didn't say exactly who the person was, so that might have been the point.
Because I mean, and the thing that's kind of like that pisses me off about it is everybody knows, especially me. When I was living on West Side, I was notorious for going to the Posto in the Galleria. People walk in all day long, plug up, sit down,
and don't buy anything.
And it's never a problem.
It's never a problem.
So
that's what people go there to do, and they have business meetings. When I was in MLM, that's all I did was go.
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks. Like meet me there or Panera. That's it.
Yeah, that's just wrong in so many different ways.
Yeah, it is.
And they showed a picture of the guy, manager or whatever he was, that made the phone call. And you look like you just made the phone call to the police for no reason. And the thing that makes me mad is the police had a chance to like your boy said, they missed their chance to be a real nigga.
To be able to de-escalate that.
Because there was no just cause for you to make them leave or put them in hand. They didn't do nothing wrong. And you can hear the white lady when the guy said, what did they do? And there was a white lady in the background. She said, I saw the whole thing. They didn't do nothing. And it's like the police, they were supposed to be like, okay, who made the phone call? Okay, it was you. Okay, now what's the complaint? Okay, well, we're not taking it.
The manager who made the phone call disappeared.
Said that he don't work there no more now.
Well,
all
good.
of a sudden.
Good.
I don't think that's good, man. It's like they react after the fact about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really not a solution if you reacting to what people say. It's really you just trying to clear the air so you can get better business or not get critiqued.
Well, they don't want to get the boycott. That's what they boycotting. And they doing a march. Yeah.
Well, so, I think it's a little deeper than just thinking that you're gonna boycott or change that. Man, that's it's kind of like ingrained in people. Because, like he said, if the police had just shown up and knew how to de-escalate that situation, it never would have happened.
It never would have happened. And their friend finally showed up, the one they was waiting on to have their business meeting. And that friend, I saw him with a coffee.
And think about the mentality of the person who actually called. Like thinking, like saying, look, they don't look right, I'm going to call the police.
Yeah, and they said they was trespassing.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
They trespassing. They didn't do anything. And you obviously, you don't have a picture up of them saying that they're
not allowed in this
But
establishment.
But once again, this is normal. I mean, I'm not shocked at it. Yes, it makes me mad because, I mean, obviously why it makes me mad, but it's not shocking. This stuff that we see, these are the blatant things that they do, like on purpose to just like, I guess in their mind to reiterate to us who we are, like, or who we are to them. Because if it's not Starbucks today, it's going to be something else tomorrow.
Right, tomorrow. Yeah, this is true.
That's why I said I don't think the boycott actually do any good.
Well, somebody said on there, they were like, well, what we need to do is, and several people like, this shit, you know how like you can make a comment and then under your comments will be like 500 or so comments. But she was like, well, we just all should go in there and sit and not buy nothing. Everybody just go into that one. And one lady was like, I work around the corner from there, and then another guy was like, and I'm gonna keep coming back with different friends every time.
And just sitting here, yeah.
But it's
not going to affect the new management. If the old manager gone, it irritate the old manager. The new manager in there.
It's not about the managers. It's about the management. I mean, if you got that ideal ingrained in everybody to think better
it's
than
not
us.
in everybody because, like he said, you go to the one up here at West Town, all kinds of people go up in here. And I've been in other Starbucks as well where they don't think like that. They don't treat me a certain way or other people a certain way.
Once again, we got to figure out the best strategy to go.
I'm just saying.
I think that they may not treat people like that, but you have to understand there's a universal thought in order for them to be able to get away with something like that. Because like I said, had the police shown up and just been like, man, no, y'all can't do that. That ain't how that go.
Right.
It would have just went down from there, just been like, look, y'all be cool, man, this is what happened. And they would have told their story, and then they just left them alone. But if you feel like you got the right to just actually put somebody in handcuffs for being in a Starbucks.
And have them in jail for 9 hours?
Exactly.
Wow.
Well, somebody in those comments had also put up like, it was a black-owned coffee shop sort of deal that was around the city somewhere, and they tagged them. They said, and like, this is where we're going to spend our money. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta start. If I know that somebody has a coffee shop, a black-owned coffee shop, we need to promote that, and we need to stop putting our money into other people. First of all, when you go into Starbucks, it's like you know that's not for us.
Exactly. That's my point.
We know that Starbucks isn't for us.
I don't think like that.
No, I'm not saying I don't belong there, but when I say not for us, look at the staff. I'm not saying that black folks don't look at the staff, look at the way who that guy, look what he looked like. The majority of those people.
Which guy? The owner?
No, the guy that made the call in Philly.
Oh, okay.
The white boy. He looked like he don't like it. The police that came there looked like they don't like it. When you go to Starbucks and you look at the average people that are in there, then white American nerd techs, you have a few black here and there, but that right there, that's not for us. We can go in there, but to me, we need something for us. That's our problem. Is we're not going out of our way to look for a lot of black-owned businesses. We're going out of our way to prove we belong here, and we keep going because keep it real. Starbucks coffee is $2 now.
I don't know. I used to sell coffee, so it's about the same price as the coffee I was selling. So I'm gonna think
but they got like $8, $9 coffee.
And I drink Starbucks and I drink Manu tea. Like and depending on which Starbucks you go to and which location, like I might get a lot of backlash, But depending on which one you go to, that's when it's a different demographic, depending on the location of the Starbucks that you go to. They don't have any in the poor neighborhoods though. They don't have Starbucks.
Just Starbucks.
They do what?
I said there have been like people have reported like people. When they were going down the list, it was a few people that were putting down what they spend. And like they started once they named the coffee place for the black owners, you just started seeing comments of people that were like, yeah. And then you start looking up and people spending like over a month. One person had $400 a month in Starbucks. What are you buying that for? Like they already expensive. Like they sandwiches they got there.
You're buying the environment actually. Because the coffee can't be no better than somebody else's coffee. It just can't.
Have you had it?
I guess after you put all the cinnamon in there.
Have you had it? Like that's some strong ass coffee. Like it's good. That. But Manu tea, because I had stopped going to Starbucks and I started going to Manu tea. So I go there and their coffee is better than Starbucks. It's way better.
So that's a perfect example that you can get better coffee.
Yeah, but it's hard.
Like that's the only person that I can say.
Well, of course, that coffee was, and it's healthier. It was a healthier coffee.
But
it was
$2
the same
a
price.
cup. What was it, $4 a bag, I think? If you got the big ones and then the small ones.
Right.
Some were 2 and some were 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, after you put all of the extra stuff in there, your coffee $8, $8.65. Then you want a little cake to go along with it. That's another $4.
Right.
For that cake is $4.
Right.
So when you add all of that up.
Yeah, you're looking at $15, something just with maybe two items.
I mean, and you go in there in the morning.
I'm sorry.
Starbucks is
I'm
too
sorry,
expensive.
but yeah.
And is that what made him mad? Oh, they come in there and using up our Wi-Fi and they're not even buying anything.
I mean, but he has no right to say that, though.
In his privilege, he does.
Yeah.
And the police backed up his right.
And that's
his
my whole
invisible right.
They carried on, like you said, invisibly, but they communicate with each other. We're the only ones that act like it's going to change, man. Those people, they are ingrained in their ways. They are not going to change that stuff. Because they know we're going to keep coming back and buying Starbucks.
Well, a lot of people won't. Like he said, by the price alone, that's why you don't get a lot of our color, our people in there. Because $4 is too much for somebody to spend for coffee. $3 is too much for somebody to spend for coffee. When you can go somewhere and get, coffee for $1 or 59 cents or something? But that coffee tastes like shit.
I mean, yeah, some
you gotta really add a bunch of sugar, a bunch of some special cream in there just to make it taste like something.
I actually like that. It's a Chevron in my house, and they do this. What's his name, Joe? There's some Joe coffee, and it's just different, real good different coffee. $1.50. Yeah,
$1.50, and people will spend.
And it's good coffee.
That, right? But it's rare that I can get a $1.50 coffee that tastes good, and they got enough caffeine in it to have me going.
I just find it funny when you're discussing the price of the coffee
as opposed to the treatment. But I'm just with the treatment.
The point is that
the price,
if we're spending this much money,
I agree.
We should be treated better.
See, that's the thing. It's not even being treated better. My thing is I'm speaking from economically black owned versus them. So, but even if, let's say that this black-owned coffee shop has the same price, I feel better about spending my money with the black-owned people. And then, now don't get me wrong, but a lot of black-owned businesses make it hard for you to support them. But I can deal with mine. It bothers me to sit and accept treatment like that with the white folk and Starbucks. And all white folk at Starbucks aren't bad. It's not, but that right there, that has happened in many establishments, and Starbucks is just the one that got caught out there.
Right.
So what's the common denominator in that?
We need to start going to black-owned businesses.
It's not the businesses, it's the people in the businesses.
The people sitting in there?
No, I mean the people who are...
The people who own it.
Papa John just had the same problem.
That's my whole point. I mean, it goes from business to business about this whole thing about mistreating us.
I think even a chicken place, what's that chicken place?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's closed on Sundays?
Yes, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A had the issue.
See, that's why I'm saying this is Starbucks. You just getting caught, but it's a lot of establishments.
Right.
They said they didn't want no gays coming in Chick-fil-A.
That's true.
Then they said,
it's just like want that, right?
But these are the invisible rights that they get to, that they have backed by police. Things like that. So I just look at it like, we need to start, if we're going to go out of our way, I'd rather go out of my way to locate and help promote a black-owned business than go marching.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pull a different little thing.
We need to get in their pockets.
A different school of thought, where some people will not frequent black-owned businesses because they be rude. And they don't appreciate your black dollar.
And they trying to hustle me for some money.
Right. So that's how you feel.
I know y'all put so many chicken
that's the school of thought where people think that, like, well, I don't want to go there because they be rude. They just talk to you any kind of way and be all crazy.
No professionalism.
No professionalism. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do?
Me personally, I'll take mistreatment from my own people any day.
I will not take mistreatment from anybody.
What I'm saying is there's going to be a level of being mistreated.
I'd rather have my brothers and my sisters mistreat me.
I'd rather get beat by my people.
Exactly. My mama can beat me all day, and I can live with it.
Right, but
somebody else, somebody who I know think about slavery,
right?
You might have a problem.
Yeah, we might have a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, we're gonna play a little song, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about Tristan Thomas.
That conversation right there was a little bit extra for me because I don't usually deal with how how I feel about issues about Tristan Thomas though. I've been 2 girls. I mean, that's normal for some people.
You know, it's funny.
That's what I'm saying. I can't complain about what he's doing. I mean, I ain't the one to try to throw no stones at him though. No matter how.
I think it's not even. I think it's more of. Come on, man. You're Tristan Thomas. You got here like this.
Got a plan and
Some people
never
don't
got
think.
a
They just be
hatchet
like,
like a
come
damn
on,
Apache with a top.
You never woke up that morning and be like, man, what I'm doing?
And what's funny, that was from October.
See what I'm saying?
That was from October?
Yeah, that was from October.
She gets a
You already trash and you can't play ball.
Wow.
He is. He's a waste of size. He's a waste of time.
It's hard, ain't it?
Okay. Where he got this?
He be having it together though.
Gonna make it work.
Okay, now guess who you acting like though?
You make like go there? Oh, they're trying to get it together.
You know what I'm saying? In the corner with you. Oh man. Always. Always. You need to find a way to, I mean, if you can turn it a little bit to get to yourself. I mean, to get you kind of, Oh, we can talk about Coachella if y'all want to talk about Coachella.
Yeah, because she turned that.
Motherfucker out.
Somebody gonna be mad at me.
Politics, history,
Dude, we do all that. You can plead the fifth through everything.
I'll chime in when I can, but I'm just saying, like, all that stuff, I'm telling you.
Hey.
My girl be like, man, you gotta watch something else.
But I'm gonna tell you, I do. One thing I like about her is she's gonna drop that shit when they leak, when white America leak, they don't see it coming.
She sneaks it in.
You know, the Super
Whether
Bowl
she part of the
with the Black
Illuminati
Panther.
or not, she still like sneak her stuff in there.
And she had the black bands, Coachella. Because you know she was supposed to do Coachella last year, but she got
She was
pregnant.
pregnant, yeah.
So they held her on that. But she did, I mean, she good. She came out of the HBCU, had the bands playing, doing what we do. Then she did the step show part, and, you know, I was just like, okay, yeah. Because I just, even if it just pisses white folk off, I'm happy. How dare they come to Coachella? And they put that with those loud ass whistles. While they yelling and stomping.
I know.
That shit really makes me happy. I want them to be uncomfortable as possible. For real. They were so mad that girl came with the Black Panthers on
Shut
Super
up,
Bowl.
we gotta talk about this.
Oh, my bad.
man.
All right. You know, baby.
It started thing and it just started going. Yeah. 28 seconds. And then we'll go, if we want to go after Coachella, we'll do either Brad's Corner or Ken's Village. You don't have no minutes today, Ken?
I did, but you kind of threw me off when you told me.
When I told you what? If you got black stuff, you can do it this time. But it ain't gonna be an everyday occurrence.
I mean, this ain't so much about being black stuff.
Thanks for tuning in. We're back. I'm in Influence on Texas 101 Jams. I am S. Lynn.
And Brad the Barber.
I'm Ken Fennell.
right, Kim Fennell. All right, Coachella.
Sound like a cologne name. Kim
I know,
Fennell.
Kim Fennell. the Superman.
No, that sounds like the. I got that Kim Fennell.
Tell me,
Yes.
you smell that
Or I got
Kim
the Kim
Kim
Fennellies.
Fennell on 9.
The Kim Fennells. You know what I mean? On her feet.
So
Yeah,
Beyonce
so
showed
Beyonce
up.
shut it down.
She showed up in an HBCU, cut up HBCU sweatshirt with
Yes.
some coochie cutters on.
Some coochie cutters. I couldn't believe it. I was like, look at her. She got that body right. I was tired just watching her. You know how much exercise and how much
Takes work.
strength and how much
Yeah, and
Oh
and in
my
heels
God.
and stuff like that.
in heels. Like she was moving. She was dancing. Like I was through. I was done. I'm not even like a big Beyonce fan like that. But she did that. She shut that shit down. Down. Ow.
Like that.
Ow.
Appreciate it. So white folk at Coachella got they got culture.
They got culture.
They got culture. They know the difference. Like going to Prairie View, watching Prairie View band, and then you turn around and go to Rice football game and watch their band. We know
Way
there's night and day.
different. Right.
Yeah, more action,
Yeah.
more musicianship, more showmanship. So Beyonce started that out, came out, did her thing, and
She
Coachella.
did that.
So somebody put up by next year, Coachella's gonna be totally black.
It could be.
Because when Coachella does concerts, it's usually, the year they did the hologram with Tupac. You get a couple of those shows, but I mean, you go to Coachella, black for them is Outkast and Kendrick and
Right.
J. Cole, but she brought a whole nother aspect into it.
And she brought her girls back. She
She
brought
brought
Jay
them,
on
brought
She
Jay
brought
on
Jay
stage.
on stage. She
Like
brought her
it.
sister on there. They did a little dance together. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well,
And Fennell is like,
glad she
yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it. I can really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, that's enough for Coachella. I guess we gonna go with
Yeah, I went to, speaking of hip hop show, I went to San Antonio last night. I saw Big Crit and Side of Prince. And you've known Big Crit for a while. You've been watching him, and you've watched him grow as an artist. He's starting to speak a little more consciously. I mean, he always has spoken from a black community standpoint.
He's always been kind of
Coming from the South, yeah. And now he's talking about these new different things, and this album right here, this is probably his biggest project. So I was really kind of happy. But my guy is Side of Prince. Side of Prince is he has a record called No Dope on Sunday. But he gives you he speaks from a drug dealer standpoint. But he's more metaphors, metaphors, lyricist. So he's telling you a story. He's saying no dope on Sunday. So all the dope dealers that sell dope should never sell dope on Sunday, especially if you got the money. At least go to church, I guess, and go to church and get Christianized, so you can turn back around and do the same thing we did. Yeah.
indoctrinated.
Get right back and selling dope over again on Monday. Yeah. But it was more of his storytelling about it, and he went from starting selling to he just gave a whole good storyline. But it was just cool because I was in the show last night. San Antonio was pretty much it was nothing. It was a shitload of Mexicans in there.
Of course,
And they were
that's what it
singing.
is.
They enjoy
But
that.
yeah, they do enjoy our music, but I
What
mean,
do
like
you
to
think of
hear
San
them.
Antonio? It ain't nothing but Hispanics here.
Right, but and see that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go down here and you go to the warehouse and see the Big Chris show you had more black folk.
Mm-hmm.
But what the thing that's good about it is that these are some of the Mexicans that you think only listen to gangster rap. And even black folk can be stereotypical sometimes. But I was just looking at the scene and it was just like really a lot of Mexicans and they would sing Crit word for word. I mean, I was like, I liked it. I really liked it.
Especially if you say he's a little bit more conscious and then they still sing along with it.
And I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cause I'm a hip hop. I'm a hip hop dude. So I was just happy to see that, man. And then just black and brown relations, period.
I think David Banner's affected a lot of people with their consciousness from that rap perspective. Because a lot of people they're finally realizing the voice that they have. I mean, you can really do something good with that time that you got in the spotlight. Because a lot of times they just sell records, no matter what they say.
He was selling records too.
That's what I'm saying.
For him to stop and change his whole thing. And he said it too. He was like, man, I didn't realize how lost I was. But, man, we need that. It's an awakening going on, man. I know a lot of people. To me, a lot of black folk, they get tired of the conscious thing. But I guess, like for me, sometimes I get tired of hearing niggas that I know just woke up, and they say things, and to me, I don't know if it's to be heard. But then when you see somebody that like David Banner that's sitting up at a level, I mean, he was selling a lot of records. I mean, with Yin Yang Twins, he was everywhere, you know. So then he changes all just. I mean, he already had knowledge. I mean, dude got a master's degree, so he's already educated. But just to see how he was, to put down that type of money in the industry, that's kind of to go the opposite way. You got to be showing some like. That's a sacrifice.
And usually that's what kind of determines the real people from the fake people. The fake ones tend to say the stuff, but then still live the life. You know what I'm saying? But the ones who are really taking it seriously, they take those cuts in so-called money so they can be who they are. I mean, because I'll tell you from firsthand, man, if you can really live in that stuff and be who you are, that's a whole nother freedom that you don't even expect that you can even obtain.
Right.
Because when you chasing that money, man, it's like that's all you know.
Right.
And a lot of times you don't be no better than the person who get it in the alley.
Especially when you worked hard to get that making that money.
Exactly.
The dude was making a lot of beats. He was on the radio, all that stuff, and then to just put your money on the line like that shows that you not, like you just said, you're not trying to live a lie. You trying to live this as your lifestyle now.
Yeah.
And being educated, that's a lifestyle. And, you know, it is. And a lot of people, they don't. Like I was just telling somebody here a couple weeks ago, they was like, man, I said, man, everything you need to know, you have to motivate yourself.
Exactly. It's out there. You just gotta go get it.
Yeah, and you can't wait for.
A lot of people are not self-motivated.
But even if I tell you the right things as a leader, because they don't want to read. You have to be motivated enough to either believe what I'm saying and
research it
or research and prove me wrong.
And in doing that, a lot of times when people offer you that mechanism, you'll end up finding yourself to prove them right. Because a lie doesn't want you to find out where he got his lies from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you spread the truth, though, man. You can just throw it out there and be like, look, it's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Go find for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you the tools to go find it.
Exactly.
So I'm making it easy for you. Here's the information.
When you get the references, like I said, the rest of the part is just really easy, though. Right. A lot of people get confused at where to start with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, all right, I know that, but then what do I do? And why is it like this? And a lot of the questions, if you ask yourself, you can almost come up with the answers by yourself. Just having common sense. You may not know how to.
Common sense ain't common. We talk about that too.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is, if you operate on what's within you as opposed to being confused at what they've told you, then you can figure out a lot of this stuff on your own. It's not hard.
But see, that's the point. Common sense at some point in time is going to have to be practiced. Because to take it back to how I was saying, you know, like a lot of stuff, you already know, like to me, motivational speakers, you're paying to go hear somebody motivate you.
True.
And they're telling you shit you already know.
True.
Your mama and your granddaddy,
churches like that too.
That's all it's about.
Motivating you to in church.
And don't get me wrong, I think sometimes we need to be in certain environments or elements. I might not want to be in this element today. I might be dealing with just work and everything. I need to go chill, relax, and I want to laugh. I don't want to see a serious movie. I understand that, but somebody that's going to tell you something that you already know, you still have to use your common sense to even figure if it makes sense or not. If he tells you, okay,
if it's the truth or not,
because like.
They can just be feeding you some shit, motivating you with a bunch of fucking lies.
I was about to, somebody can tell you a lie and make it sound good, but what I'm saying is when you operate from a natural standpoint, you don't have that problem of dealing. Like if somebody tell you, yeah, well, I'm gonna beat you, and it's gonna make you a better man.
No, that makes sense.
You gotta convince me that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
It's not rocket science, and that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I don't like I understand certain people go to church and all that. That works for you. That's cool. Or if some people they go to AA because they need motivation to stay away from the drink and liquor and stuff like that. But you already knew going into this AA meeting that these 12 steps, you take these same 12 steps that you talk about with the group of people home and you read that over again. You already know this. So me, self-motivation would be, I got to motivate myself when they're not around to motivate me. Or I cannot rely on somebody to come and tell me that it's a better day coming, help is on the way. I don't need you to tell me that because guess what? I know for myself that things is 360 degrees, there's cycles, things come back around. You got good times, you got bad times, and they revolve just like that. So if you understand cycles,
you learn how to deal with that part.
Because I get spidey senses. Sometimes I be like, okay, I'm going too far, I gotta slow down.
Right.
Because last time I did this, I ignored it. I ignored my spidey senses and ended up getting arrested and didn't know I had a warrant. Now
that's what I was saying. That's common sense.
Right.
Everybody has it. Whether or not they pay attention to it, that's two different things.
True indeed.
Because you have them.
And you
People
have those
can act like
spidey
they
senses
crazy
too,
all
they
day,
come
and
out,
then they
and
won't.
you just ignore them.
You won't see them crossing the freeway. They can be crazy, play crazy all they want, but you won't see them crossing the freeway at 5 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got their.
They may do it at 1 trying to get across, but they ain't gonna do it at 5 because they know it's too many cars on there.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Okay.
But some people need that, man. Because at some point in time, you're going to have to motivate yourself. You got to motivate yourself.
And you can teach a lot of things. Motivation is not one of them.
Motivation
It's not. It's got to be in you to the point to where, like for me, this. I know y'all don't want to talk about the black thing, but that was actually my motivation for who I am today, though, man. Because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but this color, 40 years ago, 35 years ago, man, people talked about me like I was really from Africa. I saw more racism from my own people up until I was about 13. I mean, they used to be hard on me.
I always said I didn't know how I was
cool
until I moved to the South.
You see what I'm saying?
In California, and all of us was like, and like, not saying everybody like that,
but
it's more common
exactly
to see a white man. I mean, look back in the day, you had Sammy Davis Jr. dating white. That was in LA. You could go be yourself, but you go to the South, that's not. I learned my color, but that's what I'm talking about. That awakening is starting to hit a lot of people. They're starting to realize it. Even I saw a thing with that young kid, Kodak Black. He said it. I think not this time, but the time before when he was in jail. And he was like, man, they let you do all of this shit just to get your money, get you in the system, but you got right back out and did some dumb shit all over again. So I don't feel bad for you, but. It's probably going to take you another knock on the head to realize, because this is what you already know.
Right.
So now what you got to do is recognize your spidey senses. You a young black man out here with all this jewelry in your mouth. You traveling. You got girls everywhere. You got weed everywhere. It's like at some point in time you got to learn how to move. And then look at all the rappers that ended up cutting, like Pac had to go through, hang with too many niggas, living for other people. T.I. had to go through the same thing. T.I. had to go to the Fed 2-3 times.
I know.
Wife had to get jacked up. Then you start to learn, like, I gotta stop moving like this.
A lot of that be the environment. I mean, you can't live like that. You can rap about it all day, but you can't live like that.
But then you're not keeping it real. You're not living what you're rapping.
If you're talking about killing people all day, man, you gotta realize you cannot.
You can't be killing
like
people.
You can't really be killing
After the
people
song,
all
we're going
day.
to come back with Ken's minutes, and I think he's talking about I am not black. So we'll be right back.
Never been black. Never will be.
Caught all over my body.
Now I don't care what nobody say. I try to stay away from talking about people, man. Yeah, but that girl's slow, man. What's her name? Cardi B?
Cardi.
You said she's slow?
That girl's slow, man.
She's special means.
Yeah.
You think so?
And she was on an interview with somebody, man. It was like you was talking to like a 6-year-old or something.
Well, it might be the language
It could be a
barrier.
few things.
It could be like
She's fluent in English and Spanish, but I think it was the same situation with Floyd. You know when they had Floyd reading on the radio?
Well, this wasn't a reading.
And I just think it was a nervousness. Because she's actually an intelligent chick. If you watch some of her videos, she be breaking shit down. She'll be like, especially with
she
Trump.
probably was get nervous. Everybody be nervous that first initial, like, whatever, and then you get past it. Like, the first 5-10 minutes of any kind of interview, you nervous as hell. Even if you have the questions in front of you, you still fucking nervous. Like, you just can't help it.
Well, she just answering like
it wasn't coherent though.
It was
you know
the
what I'm
way
saying?
she talked.
It was like he had asked her a question.
Who
She
was
was like,
she on the radio with? Who was it?
what's his name? Sweat.
Okay.
Cause she make like
She's
funny
good on the
sounds and
Breakfast Club.
stuff. Yeah,
She
did
got
good
a
on
lot
the
of
Breakfast Club.
personality.
And
Maybe
she
if I
has
see
too
another
much
interview, I'll give him a credit.
You need to
Like
see
a
some
second.
more.
I'm like, man,
Cause
now
she
that
come
ain't.
off with. I mean, she does sound childlike. But she's only 25, and she's pushing to this stardom like
A lot of stuff is
quick.
happening fast.
Like it went
Oh,
quick,
yeah.
and she's trying to grasp it. Like I watched the interview where she was like, she didn't know Coachella was such a big thing. They already pre-booked her, prepaid her, and she had to, the money they paid her, she had to use that money to pay for everything there out of her money. And she didn't realize. She was like, I didn't know Coachella was this fucking serious.
She didn't know, yeah.
Like it's a lot that she just don't know. She's learning on the go. She's learning as she
Well,
goes.
she's a hood chick.
She is
comes from
hood.
stripping.
She is.
But I'm gonna tell you what, I watch several of her, like when she's live on Instagram, and she might be watching the news, and she'll be like, "How they ask y'all a question? How come?" And then she'll talk about shit that we talking about. She'll be like, "Trump don't know. You ain't ever kicking with our people. You don't know what we thinking and how we feel about what topics. Y'all don't know. Y'all like." She'll be going on and she'll be saying key
You
shit.
just gotta get used to
But-
that voice too.
Maybe it's the voice.
It's the voice, cause that Jocelyn girl,
Oh,
I
she
could
Jocelyn
not
is hard.
stand her voice. She's better now. Her English is a lot better. But before,
Well, you know, she said,
I couldn't stand her. But I know she upset though because Cardi is living a life that she thought she was gonna get from reality TV.
Cardi making good music. Well,
Right.
I don't listen to Cardi's
never
music.
heard anything
But
Jocelyn did.
they don't. I have, and I've watched them on TV boo her ass off stage.
Oh.
My brother, what's going on?
It was funny.
How you traveling then?
You stupid.
Hey, mama.
I don't listen to that shit.
Good.
I don't be
Oh,
listening
you
to
gonna
none of
fall
that
down
shit.
on your own little plug.
No complaining.
Supposed to be going the other way. Why is it
I don't know. They put this here. You know it take you to come here and fix this shit.
Somebody had it wrapped around the leg. Negroes.
Cardi in the bar.
Hey, we are back to Sunday afternoon. So I'm taking you on over to Jams. I am Ashley Lynn.
And Brad the barber.
I'm Ken for now.
For now, yes, we are back with Ken's Minutes. Ken,
Well,
your
I
minutes.
would probably just tie my minutes into what we've been talking about already.
Okay.
If you realize, for every topic that we've had,
Mm-hmm.
it really deals with the way they treat and perceive our people.
Right.
A lot of times we try to make the radical sounding part not,
All right. So radical.
but it's really not. When you stand on principles, you'll realize that these people know what's going on. We just don't.
Some of them know more than we do.
That's what I'm saying. More about us than we do.
Yeah.
They operating from a plane that's way above us. It's almost like we in the valley and they on the high plateau just shooting down on us.
Yeah.
And we gotta be a part of the conversation from a standpoint of knowing what they know. We got to. Otherwise, everything that we talking about now, it's gonna be on a repeat cycle. It may be a different business.
Right.
It
like
may
you said.
be a different establishment, but
Right.
it's gonna always be the same problem.
Right.
Because we're not doing what we're supposed to do to actually address the problem.
And what
It's-
should we do?
Well, it's almost like what we just said about people wanting to just. I mean, this is something that you have to own for yourself. You can't let somebody just tell you what to do,
Thank you.
and then you act on that. I mean, you gotta know deep in your gut that something don't feel right about this.
Spidey senses.
Yeah, spidey senses. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You could babies know racism before we do sometimes. I mean, I ain't gonna say before we do, but we'll deal with it, and they'll be wondering what's going on. Like, why he say that, or why they talking to me like
Right.
that, or
Yeah. But and you like I always say, you put two babies, you put a little Asian baby together and a little black baby, they ain't gonna play with each other.
Automatically.
They don't see.
They don't see color. They don't
racism,
see. They just see
color.
a little kid.
But as you get
Like,
older,
ooh.
I think a lot of the problem is we're not we don't want to take time to study information. Because some of the same stuff that is out here for them to have, we have option to have it too. But we don't want to go find it. Because like we've fallen for the myth that there's more black people on welfare than white people. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
White people will have multiple EBT cards. they will, like, because you know what it is. You know why? Because they have information that has been given to them from a young age.
They bring their kids up in knowing the real
They
truth.
learn finances, they learn laws and businesses,
civics, government.
Yes.
You ever notice?
We learn from going to jail and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Talking to the lawyer, getting information.
You be like, oh,
You ever
it's
notice
a felony
the
per bullet. Oh,
See?
okay. You be like, oh man, I didn't know that. I'm not supposed to carry these bullets around, but I heard in the rap song these hollow points are the bad
that's what
Exactly.
it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta have these. Why y'all elbow on them?
Yeah, I gotta have these.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the rappers say I'm supposed to have these.
But if you ever notice, a lot of the people who are politicians, they groom their kids in being politicians. They don't
They
do it
do.
for. It's not
They
by
do.
accident.
Let me give you
They
a
do.
prime example. And
They
this is
do.
what I was trying to tell somebody about. Like, I really thought Bush was the worst president I ever seen in my life. And right now, I would really take Bush right now.
Everybody would take Bush back right now.
But you want to know why? And so Trump was groomed for legally robbing people, slumlording.
Yes.
He learned
Yes.
real estate. That's what he
Right.
was groomed on, the real estate and all that
right.
shit, right?
Exactly.
He wasn't groomed to be president. He's not. There's nothing presidential about him. But when you look at George Bush, they was groomed to
They was
rob
groomed
too.
to family,
They was
yeah.
still.
It just made you feel good about it.
But it's not even just
Almost.
that. It's not even just feeling good about it, because I didn't feel good about getting fucked over. But what I mean, as far as being in the White House, there was ways of doing things that they were presidential. They were presidential family. I mean, the daddy George Bush Sr. spent not just 2 years as president himself. He was 2 terms as vice president. Then he was CIA. He ran the CIA. So it's like Jeb and them grew up
they already
learning.
knew. Right.
Before they even knew they were going to be president, they were being schooled just in case you go this way. So it's like, you know, we weren't schooled. A lot of blacks weren't schooled, and that's why you have to awaken it now on our history or
Right.
you know, our knowledge. Like, remember we were just talking last week. We were talking about not last week, 2 weeks ago. We were talking about Black Wall Street. I didn't realize I had heard about it, but even after I learned about it, I didn't realize they had a run. Like they was like,
They
it was
were
like,
doing good.
like almost 16
Yeah.
something years,
Right.
17 years,
Yeah,
and
they
they
were.
went down all the businesses. They had movie
Right.
theaters, they had, you know,
Right.
everything, cleaners, they had, you know, restaurants, you know. So my thing is like that kind of history was kept from us, but you better believe George Bush and them knew about it. They
What
like
do you
these
know
things.
about it?
Yeah. So what I mean is these type of secrets and stuff like that.
They couldn't run the world if they didn't know.
Exactly. And we gotta start training our kids on things like that,
But
finance,
people aren't
economics.
doing that. Only certain families, like you may, because of the knowledge that you have now and knowledge yourself. But a lot of these people don't have that. Like, they just living a life, partying, doing this, doing everything. Anything about teaching their kids about finances,
They must
about
know
race,
this. I'm going to give them a public service announcement.
Okay, give it to them.
If you don't get within your proper person soon, then you will be expendable.
You will be expendable.
Point blank period.
You're already
So
expendable.
they not worried about us getting into our proper place. They know what's going to go on.
They don't want it. They like, go ahead, waste your time.
Yeah, keep on wasting your time. We're going to keep doing it to you.
Right.
Like it's just, we just gotta figure out, you know, what our kids need to know. Like, you know,
They need to know everything. They need to know a lot
I want
about
you to start them
a
out.
lot of stuff. What?
Stop lying to them like they colors.
Well, yeah, you can stop
And you
lying
can- you
about
can-
their colors.
You cannot find
You can
me
stop lying
one
about Santa Claus
positive,
and Christmas.
all that.
And
Well,
Jesus
actually, all that stuff was actually put in place for something else. We, like,
and
being
Easter.
lacking education, we missed the point on everything. All that stuff was actually meant for a certain purpose. We just took it and made it be literal. They took Christmas and made it something just about economy, just trying to make money,
Right.
and it never was meant for that.
Well,
That was astrology.
But see, that's the whole thing. They took remember that song called "Give Me That Old Time Religion." It's good enough for me. those type of songs were beat into our heads. You believe in everything that Bible said, and missed the whole point, because that's, to me, that was the training. Or if they didn't implement certain stuff like the part where the one wise man, look, 3 wise men one brought frankincense and myrrh, the other one brought gold or whatever he brought. I been a long time since I read about it, but they brought these gifts, and then next thing you know, Christmas is turned about gifts. And then the economy starts realizing, well, this fourth quarter numbers are just booming every time, from Thanksgiving all the way to Valentine's Day, or you know, to the end of Christmas and then going into New Year's. And it's like, you look at just the amount of money that goes into that kind of stuff, when we're not even supposed to be. That's not what it's supposed to be about.
At all.
And every family, put like this, for every family that wants to spend money on their kids, well, this year you're not gonna get nothing. We're gonna start buying all this food, and we're gonna make these 200 sandwiches, and we're gonna go feed the homeless.
Do you
Something
honestly
like
think
that.
kids believe in Santa Claus?
Yes.
A lot of them do.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yes.
And Easter.
Only
and all that
8,
stuff.
12 years old.
Only
yes.
reinforced
They do.
by their parents.
Yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
because they
Only
parents.
reinforced by their
But
parents.
they parents strongly believe in it too. Though.
How could you work
They
all year
strongly believe
and
in
then
it.
give the credit to some big
A
white dude in a red suit?
Exactly.
Because it was. Because that was.
You know,
it.
Coca-Cola actually invented him per se.
Mm.
But they say he was actually a real person.
But
No, it was actually a real person.
No, what I'm saying is it
And
didn't.
it was like some kind of religious
Pringle.
thing, but the person was black though. The real one.
Well, that's
yeah,
not
if you-
surprising.
Well, yeah, if you go way, way back to some kind of Haitian something, whatever, but there was a thing where they had a celebration with a Santa Claus. I forgot what the name they actually called him, but it was black.
It was Chris Pringle.
And then they changed it around, and then it became like a white, big old fat, bearded white guy.
I have a problem with all that stuff. When you know better, like I was just saying, I may be a little bit off topic when we talk about stuff like this, because I'm thinking about the reality of it. I'm thinking about the real truth. You know what I'm saying? And we get caught up in all this trying to play the game just because it's there, though.
You
You know
see
what
that
I'm
white
saying?
man that went to that mall? He was a pastor. A white man that stood, how like the kids waiting in line to go see Santa Claus? Like, there's a line and the kids are waiting to go see Santa Claus take a picture.
Right.
This man walked up, he was a preacher. I'm preacher something. And I just want to come to let y'all know that Santa Claus is not real.
What
You
they
parents
do?
need to stop. And then they hear the guys, hey man, get out of here, man. Don't tell the kids.
Man,
that.
but
You're
you
gonna mess up
got
the
to
kids."
tell them the truth,
Like this
man.
dude,
We can't fix this if we don't.
But see, what you want to do, I'm going to tell you right now.
But you got adults who believe.
Forget
That's
the adults.
problem.
The adults are
Okay,
lying.
adults
how do you expect the adults to tell their children when they believe in it themselves?
They send them to school to get indoctrinated
No,
every
but you know what it
day.
is? All the
They
parents, a lot of
already
those parents really
indoctrinated.
don't believe in it. You want to know what they believe in? They believe in the lying to them about, because their whole thing is let's not ruin these kids' Christmas. Let's not ruin it for them. If they want to believe Santa's real, see, that's that dumb shit, because they'll be the first person to say you don't believe in ghosts or some shit like that. I'm not gonna believe a fat guy's coming down. Like dude said in the song in the hood, ain't no chimneys in the hood, so I don't believe this man. First of all, he can't even come on my block with a bag full of toys and
Thank
be
you.
able to live. Like
Right.
certain things make us know
How
that
you gonna
that's
talk the house in the first
not.
place?
Right.
That's why I
And
said
he hit
that
everybody
kids know
else
better, man.
in
But
this
some-
amount of
but look,
time
the
in
tooth
one
fairy-
night, all over the world.
The Tooth Fairy.
They don't think they don't be playing sleep while you bring that
Hey,
Hey
money.
man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Santa
My
Claus.
parents did that. I mean, when I got a certain age, I knew. But I appreciated you selling me the dream, because Christmas was everything. You to wake up and I had some toys, and then as you get older, it's like, man, this is the only time I get to see Uncle such and such with his crazy stuff
Right,
come down
that's the
here.
only time
So then you
families
start
come
growing
together.
into the family
You
time.
associate those good times
Yeah,
with
then
that.
they
with
put
the
it with
real.
family, right.
But I'll be honest with you, I sold my kids that dream, but then at a certain age, I'm like, no, listen.
You gotta stop playing this game.
I'm not gonna keep
I
playing with you.
never sold my kids that dream.
That's a good. I mean, that's
I
good.
never did it. They
I mean,
never
my
had a
gift said
Christmas
mommy
tree.
and daddy.
They
didn't
never
say
had,
Santa.
none of that. Easter, Thanksgiving, none of that. Like, they already know from the jump. My daughter came home one day and said, why we don't have Christmas at our house? I said, 'cause that shit is a fucking lie. Don't ask me that shit no more.
The only thing
And
I like
that was
about-
it.
The only thing I like
And
about
I ain't
Christmas,
have to say no
Thanksgiving
more
is
about
eating
it.
good.
I think if you would replace the fake stories with
With
what they were
what?
really for,
Yeah.
then kids would appreciate a whole lot better.
Because they missed the whole part
Which
of
would entail that we actually learn what it was about.
I mean, look at the story. They needed a place to stay.
What? Giving gifts to the Most High, to Jesus?
You know,
Bringing gifts? What is it about?
No comment.
I'm like,
well,
nigga,
I like the.
if anything, the whole thing was they was bringing gifts to Jesus, right? So why in the hell am I giving
that
you
was
gifts?
later added.
Why am I giving you gifts? This was for this one person.
Well, it was
Why
about that
everybody
star.
get gifts?
It was really about the
Why
stars, the
everybody else?
astrological.
But they
the stars
took
meant.
that out. That was the important shit.
It was the way the moon moved, like from the 22nd to
Yeah,
the
like you
20th.
For her
said,
being a
astrology.
virgin.
That's all it is.
Right.
We make it
I
hard
get
because
that.
we get caught up in the lies and we try to explain ourselves out the lie. When all we gotta do is just deal with the truth.
Well, the truth is, all that shit is a fucking lie, and we don't celebrate it.
Well, like
That's
I said,
what my
I
kids
wouldn't.
know,
I'm not gonna
period.
throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not saying that the story
The baby
isn't
and the
important,
bathwater
but it
thrown
doesn't
out in
mean
my
what that's-
house.
Okay.
I don't believe in none of that. I celebrate no holiday, none of that.
I just
Like,
said,
I don't
think
do it.
for me, the reason why I got caught up a little bit in the whole gifting process with my kids is because number one, my parents did it to me. But
that's
they didn't feed
tradition.
me
When
That's
lies.
we
the
break the
thing
cycle.
too.
They
Then
didn't
we
feed me.
follow
My parents didn't
tradition.
feed me lies though. My parents didn't feed me lies about Santa Claus and all that. But then little things start to get embedded early. Okay, the women are cooking, the men we go get the chairs, and then stuff, and the men do the man shit, and the women do the women shit, and then it's the family coming together. We gotta go pick your brother up from the airport, type of shit. But for me, I enjoy seeing my kids smile when they got something like that. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, this whole lie. I'm not going to promote that to you. But as they start getting older, I'll start to do the same thing that my parents did. Okay, well, listen. Especially if Christmas fell on a Saturday, because I used to go to church on Saturday. So I
Right.
would go, and we would, after church, we would go and round up whoever ain't got nowhere to eat, and they would come to my house to eat. So then we're doing things like that because Joseph and Mary had nowhere to stay. They had to stay in the barn. Yeah, no room in the inn. And
Actually, that was actually normal.
that was normal. See, that's how I know they was black. Oh, we ain't got no room in here.
Well,
Yes,
you
you
got
do.
no place to
Yes,
go.
y'all do.
Yeah, nowhere. You can't- yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, we missed that part.
Villages, they supported each other, man. It was just that simple. We get away from a lot of the things that we get natural, only because we've been blinded with what they've fed us.
It's
You know what I mean?
embedded
Yeah,
in it.
it's embedded. It's the wrong thing, though. I agree. It's hard to get
You
out
want to
of.
make your lady love you for
But it's
Christmas?
mostly,
Get her to go to
it's
Jerry
mostly tradition.
and buy
It's
her a
tradition.
$2,000 ring.
Yeah, it's all tradition.
And you won't pay it off until next year this time.
That's it. Xmas to me, Christmas to me is my mama cooking. I never made a Christmas list. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. But then you know how they say that, well, we shouldn't wait for Christmas and Thanksgiving
Exactly.
Because black folk,
You
we
should
eat
do
good
it all
every
the
Sunday.
time.
regardless. We gonna eat good.
If you
But
want to give all the time. You want to invite somebody to your house to feed them, then invite them to your house to feed them. Don't make this made-up day Christmas
Be the reason for doing
be
it.
the reason for doing it.
That's all I'm saying.
she
Be
said
a
that
good
keeps
person
kids
all
from
the
being
time.
bad, the presents and shit.
Man, a lot of those kids get in trouble the same day. They be the
Exactly.
book kids.
Exactly.
My dad used to say, man,
Total
every
stuff
day
up.
is Christmas for kids. Kids, y'all get stuff for just being kids.
being kids.
Yeah,
Thank
so don't
you.
be asking me
I
nothing.
love them, man. You shouldn't have to
Just
live no
for
Christmas to do that.
But
I mean, I'm
you-
the odd man out because I'm not religious. I don't do no holidays. So
but we're
I'm not
spiritual,
going to
though.
agree with all that. I am spiritual.
And that's
But
what
I'm not into all that hype about buying stuff, Black Friday, like none of that. I don't do any of that. I don't fall into the hype of that.
I don't like getting in line to shop.
Huh?
I don't like getting in line to shop.
I don't like that. I would shop online.
Black Friday,
Before
Cyber
anything.
Monday.
Cyber Monday, like all that. I don't fall into the hype, and I've taught my
You don't
kids
take
not to do
advantage
that.
of
My
Cyber
kids
Monday?
are not. I do not.
You don't get no good hair products on the logo for work.
I do not. Do you have any good hair products on Black Friday?
Not Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday?
I don't believe in
You
that.
don't need to go online
Cyber
and
Monday
get
not
something
cool.
for Cyber Monday.
I don't take advantage
See,
of Black
he don't even
Friday.
have that option for me.
I'm not gonna lie. I take it. I take advantage of Cyber Monday. I don't take it. I don't go like Black Friday because to me, I feel like, first of all, no niggas ain't fighting on Cyber online.
Right, Cyber
You
Monday
go on
would
a
be
Black
good,
Friday, they
but
in
I always
there fighting
forget
and
about.
rolling on
I
the
always
floor.
forget
That
about
used to be the day they get
Cyber
cheap
Monday
slaves,
though.
Black
Huh?
Friday. That used to be the day that they would get
Cheap
cheap
slaves.
slaves.
That's
why I don't
true.
fuck with it. Why is it Black
That's
Friday?
true.
Why is it Black Friday?
That's
Why?
true.
Because that's what they were selling. Black folk.
people
No,
on
I- no,
Friday.
no,
That's the day.
What I'm saying is, why do we play these games with ourselves though?
Because nobody looks at it like
I'm for real
Well,
with it. That's all I'll say.
But how long
We
did it
lose a
take
draw.
when you? How long did it take before you? Or
I
what
got to
age
this
were
point.
you when you started really realizing?
And I can honestly say this. I've had this in me the whole time.
No, but when did
Just
it
really
make
like
sense?
hit.
When did it?
Like when did the light come on? Like for real, the light.
It was a
came on.
progression. I mean, you may have some questions and you'll stumble up on this and you'll be like, oh, that's how that works. That's why they do that. And it'll lead you to something else. And the good part about it, all of this stuff leads to the same place. For all the mistreatments that we go through and all the stuff, all the false holidays and all that stuff, man, it was created by the same people. Same people who
Yeah,
gave
they all got in
us
one
religion.
room, underground, and set up some stuff.
Well, if you realize how great we were,
We were great.
you will realize
We still
how
are. We have potential to still be great.
well. If we
But
don't
we just
learn
don't
what it
know
was,
it.
then we can't.
Right.
See, that's
That's why the
thing.
deception is so great because they knew how great we were.
Let me tell
They
you.
knew how
When
great
I
we were.
They
went to-
learned from us.
And they know how great we still are. That's why they assassinated us.
Well, yeah, I mean everything that they got, everything that they have is from us. 90% of inventions are from us.
True.
You know, we had a slave master that took the credit, but I mean, when you think about it and you look at the way everything that was generated and invented, it all came from us. Our mind, we have been conditioned to live hard. A lot of black folk have gone through all of their life not working, like an actual job. I'm not saying like not hustling, even when they're selling drugs or whatever they're doing, but we were trained to make a way out of nowhere. That's been our process. We've always lived hard. So when white folk lose their job and they get laid off and they
They
kill
commit
themselves,
suicide.
become shoot up the whole place. I've been fired all my life. What you mean? Like this is nothing new for us. We've lived through all of this. So by the time it hits us,